Hey y'all, Bearder Bros Golf Show back at it again. It's been a couple of weeks. I am Rod.
And Marcus.
Welcome back in. It feels like it has been a while for us, but we had some activities. Life, came up. Birthday, a little bit of golf, all kinds of stuff mixed in there. So
Activities,
yeah,
life.
my bad. Again, back a little rusty, a little rusty.
Life be
So
life.
hey, yeah, man, how you been?
Been good. Been good. Had a chance to come up and visit the family last week. Took me an extended little vacay. Had a nice little 7 days off. It felt great. Business in the front, relaxation in the back, all the time. Seeing the fam pretty much every day. It was great. Yeah, I feel a lot more refreshed and ready to finish out the second half of the season and see what's in store. What's been up with you,
Well,
Rob?
well past the second half of the season. So for me, been a busy couple of weeks, and I don't know. I don't know how to yet characterize it, but I feel like I can say I partially retired. Nothing
This
crazy,
guy.
but feels like it. Last day at the job was Friday for both me and my wife. We will be executing on the move here in the next couple of weeks. So more to come on that. We'll talk about that more on the show as it happens, because I'm sure there will be some weird timing and as we record or go when we go live. So we'll talk about that more. But yeah, definitely a renewed sense of freedom, feeling fresh and new, but kind of in the midst of packing up the house and all that stuff. It's crazy to realize how much stuff you accumulate over time, that you
Right.
got to get rid of and that's not useful. You hadn't seen it in years and you're pulling out stuff and you're like, damn, I
Even
can
without
remember when I
hoarding.
bought this. Yeah. So anyway, let's get into the golf, man. I mean, it feels
Yeah.
like golf has been kind of lame the last couple of weeks. No offense to the winners of the events that have happened, but it's been watchable. But again, kind
We
of
ain't missed
characters
much.
that you didn't really concern yourself with. So let's go back a couple of weeks to the show that we missed. Winner of the which event was it for Mr. Campbell?
The John Deere.
The John Deere. Brian Campbell gets his second victory of the season. And I remember feeling the exact same way when he won that first one down in Mexico. That it was pretty kind of ho hum, whoop de doo. Good
Yeah.
for him. It was, it was his first victory at that time, and he'd been grinding it out for years, and able to cross over the threshold, able to back it up and get a second win within the same season, which we've seen quite a bit of this year. We're seeing people
Yeah.
get first and second wins, which is cool. I mean, good for them to capture the momentum and keep it going. But as a viewer, these are people that we don't really necessarily get excited about. Um, it's been a couple weeks, but did you watch any of the John Deere? I know I caught a few holes. I mean, it's got a few iconic holes. There's that one par three that's by the water, near the back half of the back nine. So other than that, I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of ho hum.
Yeah. And I mean they got I like the finishing holes. So 16 is the part three. 17 is the part five that's usually reachable, but it's got that funky green. So holding the
Yeah.
green and being able to actually make an eagle on it has been a little bit more harder than usual. I think 18 actually is fun too, like that hard left to right or whatever. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean Brian Campbell won in the playoff again. Uh, this one was a little bit more exciting. On the final day, there was a lot more people that came out and shot a number that you had to go check, that you had to go catch. And then so like Kevin Roy, David, and then Emilio Grillo both set a number. Max Homa had an opportunity. Lucas Glover had an opportunity, shocking enough. There was definitely more players in play on Sunday for the John Deere than usual. Um,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, Brian Campbell did what he was supposed to do. He got out super hot. and was one of the guys that was in the clubhouse. And even David Lipsky, he bogeyed the 18th, and or it would have been a 3-man playoff. But yeah, I felt like it was a pretty good product for an off week for most of the stars and stuff like that. But as we have continued to say, there are still plenty of notable names that even just your casual golf fans know. So I think we're through
Yeah.
with, a lot of these off weeks. It's just a matter of if the course is going to be presentable on TV and if people are going to watch. So yeah, that was my
Yeah.
synopsis on the John Deere.
Then we, moved it forward to this past weekend. We had the Scottish Genesis Scottish Open happening, getting tuned up for the Open this week. Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
We're already on the close of the major season for the men. The women's last major coming up next week. So it's fast and furious with the golf season this year. No let up. It's just it's come really fast. The fact that we're in the middle of summer and we're about to be done with majors kind of blows my mind. I know it's still a big year as we're going to see the Ryder Cup, and then we still have the FedEx Cup, which we'll go over here in just a little bit. See where people stand in terms of who's going to be in. Some surprises, especially on the FedEx Cup. A couple of the names that I was surprised by, but we'll get into that, and also the ISCO championship as well. Again, another competing event, which we're going to see this week, and we'll talk more
Yeah.
about this week's kind of off-field event as well. I'll be honest, I didn't watch much of the ISCO. I saw a couple of little blurbs about how tough the course was playing, and the setup was definitely a little bit challenging. Didn't really go low. I mean, the winning score was what, 10 under this week.
Yeah.
So clearly, I mean, we've been seeing some really low numbers for these gents out here, and that's the rarity for it to finish at 10 under. So the course holding its own. We all have always said design, doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's super long. That's not how,
Yeah.
there's other ways to defend a course. The rough has been up largely this year and most of the tournament. So, again, I didn't watch much of the ISCO. Did you catch any of it live?
I caught Paul Peterson trying to make a birdie on
That
16
long
or
putt.
17 and 18, yeah, to try and tie up William Mouw, or however you may
I
pronounce
thought it
that.
was a mouth. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really trying to search out this coverage, if I'm being honest.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
right. I
I
mean,
mean,
I
really,
was
the only
more
the
so
intriguing thing was Paul Peterson and his lefty Nike Vapor Pros that he's still hanging on to.
right, right. I was more so looking forward to the ladies major, the Monday Evian Championship, and then the Scottish Open. So I was looking forward to that. And then the old man tour was playing. They had the Dix Open going on somehow. Saw Tim O'Neill sighting. I mean, I was more excited about that than the ISCO, if I'm being
Oh,
honest. But
did he have a decent finish this week? I didn't catch any of that.
he was he was competing the days I saw. Um,
Okay.
I didn't see Sunday. I mean, Sunday is usually my travel day.
Yeah.
Coming back, so I didn't really catch much of that. I got back in time to catch the end of the pretty much the ISCO. That's really what I was home for after it
Yeah.
was all said and done. Got a chance to
Did you
see.
catch?
Uh,
Did you catch any of the? We'll talk about it in more in depth. But did you catch any of the playoff in the Evian, or at least the replay later on?
I did. I saw the replay. I saw the finish. Yeah. Well, it's on the list, so we'll definitely get into that,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about that. Honestly, we can talk. We can go. We can transition into that now, because I mean,
Well,
what more do we?
let's talk. Well, let's
Congrats
talk
to
about
William
the
Mouw.
yeah. Let's talk about the Scottish Genesis Scottish Open, and then we'll move
Yeah.
on to the LPGA. So great coverage window. That's the thing I love about the Scottish Open. I mean, they give you pretty much the entire field because you wake up in the middle of the night. There was a couple nights where I wasn't sleeping great, and I would wake up and it was already on, and then it would go well into the morning. So the long coverage window for the Scottish Open, and they've done that the last handful of years, really trying to feature that event. Um,
Yeah,
Interesting field. I mean, Rory. I don't know. Like sometimes I think it's superstitious that you don't want to win the week before going into a major. He was pretty much around the top of the leaderboard the entire weekend. Not able to pull it
yeah.
out on Sunday. Chris Gotterup ends up getting his second career victory. Do you? What do you think? Is there any psychology to that? That you kind of, hey, I'm tuning up the game, but I don't want to win because winning back to back weeks is tough. What do you think about that?
I think it's tough, but in the mentality of winning, I would want to win as much as possible. So I don't take much stake into not winning the week before a major or playing the week before a major. I think, the guys that typically play before the weekend have a lot less on their mind, especially like if you've played a decent, like if you make the cut, you've made some birdies, you've had some good runs throughout the rounds. Now, if you like get into the week before of a major and you're missing a cut and you've dropped some balls, you've dropped some shots, then yeah, I could see where your superstition and stuff like that would come into play. But
Yeah.
if you're a guy like Scottie, Rory, John Rahm, players like that, you want to have a good momentum, and a lot of the times you're not going to sit here and worry about what happened the week before. So I don't take much stake into it. I think it's actually a good thing to play the week before, and if you win,
Yeah,
so be it.
but when? Okay, okay. I mean, I don't know. Like I
Yeah, I
said,
don't.
I'd want to play well, but not too well. Have
So you are
something
super.
because
So
I
you are
think,
stitious a little.
yeah, yeah. In regards to that, because I think like it's very interesting. Like, I, we don't get a lot of candid answers from golfers these days. They usually give us the stock stuff, and we've been on the back end. And I think we've talked about it a couple times on the show that Scottie Scheffler is becoming one of the more insightful golfers, um, that's out there, that's willing to speak his mind, kind of touch on some topics that aren't necessarily um, always going to be accepted that they're discussed. And so today, we get sound bites from his press conference talking about the motivation, um, the quick celebration and then let down of a win on tour that he loves. It's very interesting hearing him talk about his process and his motivation. He's like he enjoys the work, he enjoys getting better, and then you know it's like he then gets the victory and he's like, then we go talk about what we're going to eat for dinner. And that high that you get is really short lived. And I found that interesting. We talked about that earlier in the year when Rory got over the hump with his, grand slam, career grand slam, and finally conquering the Masters. That there was clearly a letdown in his game up to this point. And, he's talking about if I can't get up, for this particular event in my home country, what is there to really even be motivated by at this point? So I don't know. I feel
Yeah,
like speaking to the psychology of a high level, pro, I don't know. It seems like even if you kind of hesitantly go into that winning category, you still got to go through the victory. You're staying a little bit later on site, all the hand shaking and all the stuff that comes with winning. And it may take away from your prep going into the following week of a major. I don't know. It was very interesting because even Scottie is like, "Am I landing my point? Are y'all getting what I'm putting down?" But it definitely felt like it was complicated in terms of how they view, what they're working for. And, clearly at no point does he ever mention money. I don't think we've ever heard Scottie talk
yeah.
about the financial part of the game. So what did you think of that and kind of the motivation for these players to go win?
Yeah. I mean, I think again, it was a very candid point. I think it was a brilliant point for, I mean, anybody that's won anything. if you have been at the top of the game or the top of the level that you've been able to compete at, you kind of understand the angle that he's coming from. I think the most important thing here is the fact that a lot of people can relate to that fact. It when you get into the mode of winning something or training for a goal, that's that's the fun part. When you feel like you have something to work towards, when you feel like I've accomplished something, like, oh my goodness, like I knocked that off the box, like that's on the list of training things to do, like I conquered that, like I completed that mastery of that, like in the game of golf. Okay, I've gotten my irons to an acceptable level. Like if I miss, my misses aren't gonna make me angry. Like I'm not gonna sit here and, like, throw clubs or anything like that. My miss is acceptable. Putting, if I'm not making it directly from a makeable range percentage wise, I'm scaring the hole. I'm lipping out. Or, it's within a foot, it's a tap in. I don't have to sit here and put my mark down and think over this 3.5 foot putt. I know that I'm a drain it, things like that. So I get what he's saying, but also it goes into the fact that, kind of like what I was saying earlier, I don't mind the week playing the week before, because just like what he said, you win and then you move on. You have your excitement about it and you move on to the next thing. You got it. But I also get what he's saying though. And like the whole thing with Rory, because once you've won, or you've set out and made the goal, you've accomplished the goal, then it's like,
Right.
dang, what's left? Like
Right.
what more do I need to do? So like having the energy and the discipline to get back collected, to get that adrenaline back up, that's the battle really at this
Right.
point and
Because
stage now.
because even just as a quick mention, even though I didn't watch any of it, the live guys teed it up this past weekend as well, in
Yeah,
Spain, and even John Rahm, one shot back of winner Taylor Gooch, best iron player in the world according to was it Jerry Foltz or somebody. So he even finished, one back, not getting the victory. I mean, that spells probably that he's playing pretty decently at this time. But it'll be interesting to see how both, these guys go into next week. You know, Scottie looked a little bit frustrated with links golf this past weekend at the Scottish Open. I am very, for him, he's got quite a bit to go to complete his career Grand Slam, right? So a couple Masters victories, the PGA
yeah,
Championship this year, still got to get the U.S. Open, still got to get the Open Championship. So he's got quite a few things to tick off on his list and till he can kind of say. But then I think for Scottie, as well as he's played these last handful of years, if he gets on a run, he sets his target at, can I get to Tiger? Can I get to Jackson? Something way out there. And I feel like he's got the competitive zeal to actually keep striving for those things.
yeah,
And it's kind of like what I've said in the past is that I want to see Scotty dominate. Like I feel like he has the game for that. I want to see him blowing people out. I want to see Tiger type performances where the field is like he's got it, or we start seeing bets, Scotty versus the field, which he does go into every major at this point, pretty heavily favored on the money side. When you look at betting lines, there's no one even really close to him. It's like Scotty and then everybody else. So we'll see how everybody performs. Again, I feel like links golf is the one of the most unpredictable, majors that we get because everybody's not built for the conditions that they may get thrown. Maybe cold, a little bit of rain. It's tough. I can speak for my little weak, amateur game. There were years in the past when I first started playing golf that if it was below 50 or around 50 degrees, I'm done for. Like I just did not have the mental fortitude to go out there and kind of fight through it and
yeah.
I let the conditions win all the time in those, kind of late winter days or whatever, still trying to play. So again, I always find it very interesting to see how things fare this last major of the year, who deals with the conditions well? Are there any conditions at all? Like we saw Harmon win a few years ago in rain and sloppy conditions. They're not really sloppy because it's links, but it's just not easy conditions to go out there and shoot a score.
Yeah.
So anyhow, let's any other notes? I do have a note. Let's go over our picks from earlier in the year um that you and I had for the Open Championship. I'd say both of them are actually pretty decent, all things
Yeah.
considered. You picked Rory McIlroy to win, and this is before the season started. And I picked Shane Lowry, and this was based on him returning to the site of his first major at Portrush in 19. So I don't think either one of those are horrible picks going into this tournament, both in their home turf. You still good with your pick?
Yeah, I'm still good with my pick. As long as Rory can get off of number one, I think he should be okay. Internal OB really got my man's in 19 though, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm really excited about Rory. Again, he's just like he said, if he can't get up for playing at the crib in a major, I mean he's got some soul searching to do. I mean, he's got some other things on his mind that he needs to conquer if he can't get up for this. So
Yeah,
hopefully he's in the mix and give himself a chance to win in the end. I think I mean nobody's going to be Scottie as far as if you're on the leaderboard on a Sunday when it comes down to it in a tight leaderboard. I don't think people are going to sit here and be like, "Oh my God, Rory is leader or close," and I'm sitting here worried about what he's going to do. But if Scottie's up there, then yeah, I'm going to be afraid. And if Shane
yeah,
Lowry can keep it in the fairway, I think he's got a good chance for you too as well. I think
yeah.
with his
Control their
iron
fate.
play, yeah, with his iron play and his ability to play in the wind in conditions like that, I think it's scary hours for the field if he has it going. But that is
Yeah.
to be determined.
Yep. Odds real quick. Scottie Scheffler number one at plus 550. Rory McIlroy plus 750. John Rahm is 12 to 1, which that's better than he's been rated so far. Bryson 18 to 1. Fleetwood 25 to 1. That's kind of high. Xander
Sweet
25 to
Jesus.
1. Xander's not had the season at all. There's no chance he
No.
repeats. Shane Lowry 25 to 1, and Xander's had an injury, so no shame there. Terrell Haddon, I'm with that 25 to 1. Ludwig 25 to 1. Ludwig's had a pretty so-so year, not horrible, not bad, just kind of okay.
He won and
Everybody
then
else
tapered
pretty,
off, so I don't know if it's really been all that great.
yeah. I mean, it's been It's kind of like we'll talk about it, but like JT, he's had a some highlights, but as a full season, kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know how he's that high. But let's
Yeah,
get into
JT
the
started
ladies.
out a lot hotter than anything.
Yeah, let's talk about the ladies, and then we'll come back to Ryder Cup and FedEx Cup standings.
Okay.
So LPGA, their fourth major of the year this past weekend, was a damn good one.
Yeah.
I thought going down the stretch, Lottie Woad, who is now professional, the extraordinary amateur, turning pro after this past weekend, getting enough points to qualify, has had some really high finishes when she's gotten starts. I was like, damn, this is again. If a amateur sneak, I mean, still leaving money on the table, going T3 this past weekend, but she had a really good chance to win it. Kind of faded down the stretch, not able to hold on. But that's crazy how talented she is. A little bit quirky, kind of in her mannerisms, but a heck of a
Yeah.
golfer. What do you think about her potential long term?
Oh yeah, I think she's definitely up there with the I mean, I don't know. As far as women golf goes, she's the prototype. She's taller. She's very solid built. I mean, the distance isn't a problem. She's got hands on her. Really, it's just gonna come down to how hot the putter can get. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be scary as far as all these young girls coming up, but it's so many that she's gonna be battling. I
Yeah.
don't want to say she's gonna be just another name because when she first drops, like her first complete rookie season next year, I think we'll be looking for her, and it'll be kind of like the the Ingblad thing. We're gonna
Yeah.
be looking for her, especially after a storied, college career that Lottie Woad had at
Rose
Florida
Zhang.
State.
See how Rose Zhang has like faded into the background after initial win.
And she
Um,
and she won last year and competed was up on the leaderboards earlier this year, and she's just another name already. So
yeah.
yeah, man, the LPGA game continues to be deep. I mean, Arya Jatanagarn is making a push to get back into it. Andrea
Right.
Lee, Angel Yin. I mean, Minji Lee, she just won a major and she's T3 this week. I mean, like, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
The
There's
game is
definitely
deep.
so many names. Yeah, the game is deep. So hopefully she makes a name for herself. I know she'll continue to compete, but hopefully she can close the door and win some and solidify that. But
Yeah.
yeah, overall it was a great product. The Monday
It really
Championship was.
was. And I love the 18th being a reachable par five where you can go
Yeah,
for it. Gino Titaku and Grace, dang it, Lee. I
Kim.
almost screw it. Kim, Jesus Christ, Rod. Grace Kim go into the playoff. Crazy first playoff hole. Grace Kim, they're both kind of neck and neck. She tries to go for it, ends up right in the water. Um,
Yeah,
on her second shot, hits from the drop area and birdies it. Holds out, crazy momentum. Gino put it on the left hand rough in both playoff holes. It pretty much
yeah,
similar spot. She was able to get up and down for the birdie. Had a chance to win it, of course, after her chip. Wasn't able to do so. They, tee it up again on 18. Gino hitting last again. Grace puts it above the hole and, doesn't get it to come back like she did to actually get into the playoff, which I didn't even talk about that. She hit a hell of a damn shot to get into the playoff, taking it up that slope and bringing it back. In the second playoff hole, wasn't able to get it to back up, but still had a clearly makeable putt. Again, Gino putting
yeah,
it in the left hand rough. Rough chip. Tried to get a ruling on like ants crawling over her ball. They didn't give her any relief. Hits an okay chip, but um, Grace puts it in, for Eagle to win it. I mean, it was very dramatic. It was good golf. The crowds were crazy for
yeah,
kind of the action and it had a really good kind of amphitheater view and feel to it. But really good playoff for a major. We've been cheering for Gino all this year as we know how talented she is and kind of just waiting for her to kind of break out because we see the talent. We
yeah.
see how often she plays. So that part was a little bit disappointing, but overall, the product was a win for everybody who was a golf fan.
Absolutely, it definitely was. And I mean, Gino's gonna keep putting herself on the door. I mean, she's definitely one of the most consistent players that there is on the tour. So I'm not a bit concerned with what she's got going on. I know she'll be all right.
Yep, yep. Not at all. I mean, the women's game is in a really good spot.
Yeah,
Again, I mean, we're gonna get some really good golf again this coming up weekend with them playing in
they're
Scotland,
off this
and
week.
then is that next week? I thought they were doing
Yeah,
their okay.
they're not playing when the PGA is playing. The only people that are playing when the PGA is playing is the
It's the
PGA
PGA.
because they have to have some American side. You know how they do.
I know. I must have looked at the dates Wrong. Crap.
Yeah, the Scottish is the 25th, and then the
You're right.
ladies, the women's open is the end of the month.
So not next week for the ladies, but um, that brings up some kind of names that I was looking at, and you know, we've not seen Nelly have the backup season to the one that she had last year. Um, kind of ho hum golf, which is strange, just given how well she swung the club last early season last year. So really, I mean, a lot of her success came in the first half of last year. So this year and the back half of the season in 2024 have been kind of ho hum. What do you think's going on with Nelly?
Well, we've said it, but we've sent it back and forth, the messages and stuff like that. That's another one that the graphic. Nelly Corda has technically scored better this year than she did last year overall. Her par her par scoring is 69 and some decimals compared to low 70s in the decimal. So she's technically been more consistent, played better technically, but I think the field has come back. I think the field has been a lot more competitive. So it just doesn't look the same. I'm not worried about Nelly. Um, we all want her to be. A lot of people want her to be the golden girl, myself included. But
Mm-hmm.
there's just so much depth and talent in the ladies' game that you're gonna have a good season, and then you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to find yourself. Our she won twice. She won two majors in 22. We talk about her too much. Lilia Vu.
It's true.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Two major wins. She won four times overall that year, and then the back went out. And then she came back. She was looking fit. Still couldn't get any wins. So yeah, bro, it's tough out there, man. Angel Yin, she had her nice little season. She's
But
had her some
yeah,
moments. It's tough.
another one I was thinking about that had a win early in the season, but has been largely quiet after a hell of a 2024 is Lydia Ko. Had a good, I mean, a great
Yep.
season last year with the gold medal, major, another win mixed in there, but hadn't been able to,
Solidified the Hall of Fame.
yeah, I'm,
I think she's going through the Rory hangover. She ain't really got nothing to
yeah,
fight for no more. It's just
yeah,
all want to at this point. Do I want to win this and add it to another notch on my belt? Do I want
yeah,
to add this, accumulate it to the total? Like she might be just needing to go for like the Grand Slam and then she gonna be out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
she's accomplished so much and been in the game and been relevant for so long. More than almost half her life now at this point. She's been on tour and been winning. So
yeah,
since 15, 16, she's 27 now, going to be 28 or whatever. She's got 3 or 4 more good years left, she said. She said she's trying to be out of here by 30, though.
and
So,
start a family and all that good stuff.
right. She already married. So who knows how much longer we're blessed with Lydia Ko's game. Another girl who won and then disappeared, Celine Boutier. Celine Boutier,
Right,
she was
right. She won
top
two.
20 this for this week, but where has she been at? So many names,
Yeah.
bro.
Lydia's 28, so a couple more years, according to her own countdown timer, which is crazy because, like you said, I feel like we've known about Lydia Ko forever. I mean, as long as we have been
In the
involved with
game,
golf, going back to 2020, 2012 is when we first got
yeah,
into it. So that's 13 years ago for her. And so she would have been 15 years old at that time. So nuts. I mean, we've known about her all that time. So the women's game is really in a good place. It's the same. I want to see somebody kind of break away from the pack and really separate themselves. Um, Gino kind of looked devastated after the loss. I mean, her and Grace Kim clearly have some camaraderie, and they seem like they were very amicable. But
Yeah,
that was a tough loss. I mean, Grace played some incredible golf down the stretch. So week in and week out, when you're battling with these other ladies, even if you're one of the most talented women in the game, I can see how it would grind and beat you down a little bit. And I kind of saw that in
yeah,
Gino after the loss on Sunday. So hopefully she's able to bounce back and, has a good rest of their season. Love how deep they go into the season playing golf. So they'll play well into November, giving us some good high quality golf.
yeah. To me, that kind of resembled really that fight in those playoffs. That kind of resembled like I know they don't play in their like Solheim Cup, but it felt like the Ryder Cup. Like Gino kept making the shots to put herself in a winning position,
Yeah.
and then like you're not even disregarding your playing opponent. You just know you've hit a good enough shot, a good shot, and they just keep bearing down and making something on you in like a match play. And it's like,
Yeah.
dang, I can't get away from this person.
Yeah. Well,
And then
hell
all
yeah.
of a sudden,
You see somebody chip in after putting it in the water, kind of
right.
messes with you.
Yeah, you saw her. She lipped to Grace like as they're walking off the green. She was like, "Great chip," but you could tell she kind of disgusted in her like just like dang, like you
Right.
made that shit too. Like,
And
bless,
it's kind of,
bro.
it almost felt inevitable.
Golly.
It's like you get the
Right.
feeling when somebody's going through their
She
routine,
about to make
it
this
never
too.
looked like she was nervous about it.
Right. And I know Gina was pissed. She finna make this too. Look, she finna make this eagle putt. Watch her.
Oh yeah,
I
and
knew it.
you got the
I
momentum on
knew
your
it.
side. And to be honest, I want to say Gino seemed hesitant to challenge the middle of the green, because
Right.
she
She's
ended
playing
up in that
safe.
left hand. Yeah, exactly. With it, she had an iron in her hand too. It's not like she was hitting a
Yeah.
wood, um, and just kept turning it over and literally put it in the same spot twice. Versus going more so middle of the green and riding that slope where you have a chance
Yeah.
to bring it back down towards the hole. So yeah, I mean we got a lot of golf left from the ladies. So looking forward to that at the end of July. Let's move back on over to the men here. Um, let's pull up the standings for the Ryder Cup. Let's see, got a new format. Share my screen. We'll go Americans first. Somewhat surprising. One pick was surprising here. So, no
And
surprises with
automatic
Scottie.
qualifiers.
Yeah, these are the six automatic qualifiers. Don't cover your mic. Xander into and JJ Spawn with the U.S. Open victory, moving up
So many
there, and
points.
also a high finish at the Players probably helped here as well. Um, the surprising one is Russell Henley. Not that he's played bad. I mean, he's been around the top of some leaderboards, but I think it just speaks to Russell Henley's consistency. I mean, the
Right.
man's never really plays bad at all, and he'll sneak up every couple years, get a victory. Um, Solid Ryder Cup guy. I think great. You know, in four ball where you're or alternate shot where you're someone who can drive. He's a good iron player. Gets you
Yeah,
in some
he's a great teammate.
opportunities to score. I like that he's going to be an automatic qualifier versus having to be a pick. Bryson DeChambeau again, 1 year removed from his U.S. Open victory, still hanging in there with the points. I don't think there's going to be much um, in the way of him being able to fall out of the top six. I'll scroll down here in a second. And then Justin Thomas wrapping it up there. Kind of
Yeah.
surprising as well that he's the automatic. Let's
2 year product.
yeah, yeah. So again, points wise for DeChambeau to fall out, so he's at 10,318. Morikawa is the next closest at 9,743. Clearly, if he finds a way to win the Open Championship, kind of repeat his opening glory from a couple of years ago, that would jump
Hmm.
him. But he'd still have to go over JT first. So I don't know,
Yeah.
man. It doesn't look very good for. I mean, I shouldn't say look very good. Doesn't. I mean, it's gonna put Bradley in a position where DeChambeau's an automatic qualifier. Um, Not that I think he's been pretty clear that he would accept live players in the Ryder Cup. What are your thoughts on
Yeah.
that aspect of it?
Yeah. I mean, he said it from the jump. He was going to be, pretty forefront with that. So anybody that's good enough, that's American, will be, considered. So I guess, I mean, we were more so collectively hoping Brooks Koepka would, show some competitive juices and get in there, but we see what has happened, what has transpired. So it's looking like, it's just going to be DeChambeau, which is fine. I think it'll be okay. I think that also kind of opens the door for Keegan to be Captain Keegan and play as well, because you're looking at the people behind him. There's some trustworthy guys, but also guys that you just don't think that they're ready for the moment yet, and that's unfortunate. But it's just the reality of a team competition that you are trying to win and continue to try to dominate at least at the crib. So, you know, players uh like an Andrew Novak, he might just get passed over. Um,
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's
Brian
13.
Harman, yeah, Brian Harman, he's been in there, so I think he might get that. But that's what the problem is though. You gotta go with what your heart desires. You can't sit here and go, okay, so the next six picks after the automatic qualifiers, I'm gonna go straight down the list. So Colin, Ben, Keegan, Harris, Mav, and Brian, y'all are all in. Like when he's deciding, he's not gonna go down the list because at 14 is Patrick Cantlay, at 15 is Sam Burns. You think you
Right.
leave Sam Burns' hot putter out, especially the way he's been trending since the playoff with
Yeah. And Canada against Ryan
yeah,
Fox.
right. So I mean, then Patrick Cantley, Patty Ice, he might throw some people off with his pacing
I-
and his putting and Joe LaCava. I don't know. He's gonna have to show some stuff in these next few
you,
weeks to really
you know
like
who's had
get his name back
a,
up there.
a sneaky good season who I would entertain is Daniel Berger. Like the to me that guy can get so
He just
super
sticks
hot,
around.
and since he's been healthy and returned from injury the last 2 years prior,
Yeah,
I think for him to actually be in this spot, given this is really like a year's worth of work, for him to end up at 19, uh, to me is
right.
super impressive, and I would entertain putting him up there. If he can have a couple of decent finishes here at the end of the year, um,
Yeah,
worth thinking about.
yeah. I mean, Tom Hoagie is 18. Cam Young is 17. This is 2 years worth of work. So there's some people that
Yeah,
are up there that you just wouldn't expect. Michael Kim is 23. That's not too far outside the realm to get into that top 14 to 17 look if you can continue to compete and stuff like that.
yeah. Let's move
So
over to the Euros. Go ahead.
yeah, no, I mean we're deep right now, but it's also who's clutch enough to sit here and be like, yo, like I absolutely need him on the squad. Like I don't know if we have anybody like that past the top 15 or so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Again, not no surprises here and there. Top six: Rory, Tommy, Bob, Terrell. Again, same thing. Live, but Terrell earns it. To me, Terrell plays so much golf and high quality
Yeah,
golf that it seemed it would be disrespectful for him not to be able to get on. Seb Straka's been playing some really good golf. Had a good week this past week as well. Solid season. Shane Lowry, again, no surprises there. Brings the energy. Always a good matchup with Rory, his fellow countryman. So I think their top six definitely makes sense based on how these folks have trended. Crazy the big ass gap that Rory's got over everybody else.
Everybody. Yeah.
3,300 points versus like 1,200 for Tommy. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
their bottom is a lot less intriguing. Um,
There's a
yeah, they're gonna.
there's some fall off. There
Yeah.
is definitely levels to this.
So Rasmus Højgaard has not had a great season. I mean, him and the bro have been playing over here on the U.S. side. Not exact. I feel like this is just him teeing it up quite a bit, but hasn't really
Yeah.
had notable finishes. Justin Rose, the stalwart, you kind of almost have to pick him for that locker
Yeah.
room presence.
Hmm.
He is 43, probably close to 44 at this point. So,
Definitely
you don't.
one of his
Yeah,
last
it's his.
attempts.
It's the last one. He's going to be moving into captainship shortly after this. I mean, hell, is he
Yeah.
even a vice captain at this point? No, they got a bunch of older guys. Um, Ludwig, you put him on the team. Like you might
Have
as
to.
well, you might as
Vic
well put him. Same. He's a
Vic on there.
Dietrich had the
Thomas
win earlier
Dietrich.
this year at the
I think you
waste
have to.
management. I think so too. Then it gets
The
dicey
distance is crazy.
because Matt Wallace
It's
is
hard.
not long.
No, he's not consistent. Jordan Smith is literally a DP World Tour star now. Nothing other than that. The game doesn't
Right.
travel. You
No.
honestly have to go to. You might have to go. Ooh, where is Nicholas Højgaard? Where is Nikolai? How far
Way
down do we
down.
have to go?
Let's look for
Well,
the. Oh, Nikolai is
damn.
30th.
Well, shoot. Okay, so you go. Okay, scroll up just a little bit more. Back up to like the top, like 8 or something like that. So you go. You pick Rasmus. You pick J Rose. You pick Ludwig. You pick Hovland. You
Hovland.
pick Thomas Dietrich.
There's
Then you
one
go
more.
down and you get Rom. That's it. You're not going. You're not choosing Aaron Rye over Rom. Laurie
Yeah.
Cantor, Tom Torbjorn Orlison, Marco
Do you
Payne.
flirt? Do you flirt with Fitzpatrick? Maybe. I don't know.
No,
He's not been playing. He's not a
not
good
over
season
John
as well.
Rom. Yeah, he just had a good week last week, just to move into 22nd on the points list for them. And I don't even know if they get that many. I don't even know if they get that many selections. The European side. I think theirs is
No, it's a cut. It's the same
uh
six, auto six, and they have the same line. You see that dart?
okay. I
Yeah.
see the line. Okay.
So yeah, yeah. There's a
Yeah,
big
the fall off
difference,
from
but
the next group is different.
the interesting. I mean, it's almost like because we're playing stateside that it's a guarantee that the U.S. is going to win, and the talent looks like it's there. But the Euros have a sense of pride. I really do. I didn't want to get into it because I'm not a super fan of Xander's dad. Kind of a little bit offbeat, but he was making some comments about him not attending the Ryder Cup and it just not being a good event, and kind of also, he's got the same mentality as his son that everything's got to be about the money. And so he was like, "Oh, Rory's comments about, playing for free, and you couldn't pay him to play the Ryder Cup." I don't know, man. To me, that does give the Euros a bit of a mental edge that they really are out there for the passion, and you can see that
Yeah.
year in and out. But on foreign soil, it could be it's challenging. It always is. We know there's going to be a lot of energy around the American side. Even add in some of the more recent political stuff with trade that they might add a little extra twist and a little bit of extra nastiness in there. You never know, but yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like the U.S. is even gonna get challenged this year. I feel like it might even be a blowout, but you never know till we
Uh,
get there.
I mean, I would hope it would be a blowout, but I don't know if that's gonna transpire. Um, I don't. I read into what one didn't really read into, but whatever Dad Shoffley said, I thought it was pretty corny to be honest. It's like um I don't know. I think he's speaking from too much of a place of privilege again.
Yeah,
We always hate to see that. But yeah, bro, I don't think it's in the cards for you to be able to speak on that. Whether whether we even care if you show up or not, really, honestly, because
right.
the fans are gonna be ruthless regardless. He talking about stuff the fans say. The fans said it. The players are supposed to sit here and control what the fans are saying. The fans are gonna be unhinged regardless. Then you drink. Then you put your country's pride on the line.
Yeah,
Things are gonna get unhinged. What are we saying?
that's the fun part. I mean,
Right.
there's no other environment like it for that short period of time. So, the
Exactly.
first tee with the just chanting.
There's always gonna be lines crossed. This is the Ryder Cup. Like the rest of the stuff, we for sure gonna be cordial. That's the homie. But for this
Yeah.
week, I don't know you, bro. Like I do not know you.
Right. Right. Like the Rory,
Like
Joe
I'm not
LaCava stuff.
exactly. I'm not Uncle Marcus. I'm to Tommy's kids. No, I'm not. That's Tommy Fleetwood, and that's his badass kids, and we gonna beat all of them. Like what are we talking about, bro? Like
Yeah.
it's 1 week out the year in every 2 years, and then you go back to being really good friends, and then President's Cup, we have a different rivalry. Like you have to be able to get up for that type of stuff. Now I think
Yeah.
Xander's younger, and he's gonna be able to get up. He can compartmentalize and stuff like that, but what Steph said was funny to me. Like, bro, you go over there and ride into the sunset. Xander's made enough money for you to hang out at the crib as it is. So you go
Right.
hang out and do what
No,
you're gonna do over there in
I,
Cali.
I feel like he just is a contrarian for the sake of being a contrarian most of the time. Like he just says the
Right.
opposite just to just to say it. So let's
Yes. Yes.
look at one more standings list. FedEx Cup going into the final major, just to get
Yeah.
a lay of the land, and I have no idea after the random changes that they have talked about earlier in the year of what the
Literally.
format's going
I
to
don't
look
know what
like.
it is.
We'll just figure it out once we get there. But let's just see how people stand going into it. Again, we're not going to have any surprises here. Scottie number 1 with his PGA victory, and I mean, maybe that is a little bit surprising because Rory with the how many he's got the players, he's got the Pebble Beach, and then the Masters. So that's a little bit surprising. Seth,
Um. Yeah. I mean. Uh. I don't know. Maybe the PGA holds a little bit more weight than the
I don't
Masters,
know. I don't know about that one because Scotty's
but
got
the past is
the
elevated.
PGA, the Memorial. What else has Scotty won this year?
He's won twice.
That's it.
He's won. Did he win the Memorial? Ben Griffin won the Memorial.
Yeah.
No. Right. Who won the Memorial?
No, no. Scotty won the Memorial. Crazy man. Oh, and then Scotty won the Byron Nelson.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So he's won 3 times too, and
okay. So
then he competed in the RBC Heritage. He's probably just competed more just off of field events.
right. Yes. Rory has trimmed his schedule a little bit. Even though Scotty missed time earlier in the season. So anyway, Sepp Straka, not surprising. I mean, he's had put together a pretty decent season as well.
Yeah.
Again, JT, surprising that he is this high in the standings at number 4. Looking at his results,
Seven
He
top
has,
tens
yeah,
in
that's
16 events.
yeah. T9 Travelers cut at the U.S. Open, PGA Championship cut. Jesus,
Hey, man,
Truist.
Scottie number of top tens, Scottie events. That's just disrespectful. Ain't nobody
Truist.
doing it like him.
JT was T2. He won the RBC Heritage, of course. Valspar, second place. And Genesis, um, T9. Waste Management, T6. American Express, 2. So I guess solid season. But it doesn't feel like he's ever really been outside of his RBC Heritage where it's like, oh, here, JT coming. JT coming. I hadn't felt like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just been.
Yeah, I mean, Russ
Um,
Henley, 8 top
Russ
tens in
Henley,
14 events.
solid. I that one I'm with. Sorry, let me jump back. Henley, I absolutely understand how he's fifth. He's had a really solid season. Ben Griffin, we know that man plays a lot of golf
He gonna
and has had,
play.
his two wins, team win and a individual win at the Colonial. JJ Spawn, no surprises there. Harry English quietly in eighth.
Yeah.
Fleetwood doing what Fleetwood does. He several top tens in there. Close finish here recently. Keegan Bradley also really solid season.
Yeah.
So no surprises. I have not been paying. Clearly, he's come up a couple times in the Ryder Cup standings in here. I haven't paid much attention to Maverick McNeely. I know I've seen him at the top of a couple of leaderboards here, but not crazy. Clearly, no wins.
Yeah. Just
But
competing. I mean, but the same can be said about Ludwig Albert. Since Ludwig Albert, he won. I ain't really seen him, and he 13.
yeah, yeah. Novak, not surprising. Good season for him. I would consider this a
Yeah,
breakout year for him. We've gotten
yeah,
to become acquainted with his game. A really good player. And then the rest of the list is kind of ho hum. You know, it just is. So the top pretty predictable. Um, so
yeah.
we'll see what the format. We'll see what the format looks like when we get there. Again, we have no idea with the changes that they've made in season. Super bizarre.
No
Starting to feel like
way.
live. What's up?
It's 70.
70
It's
what?
top 70.
Oh,
That's the first to
into
that's
the
the
playoff.
first one. Yeah, Fede
Yeah,
St. Jude is top 70.
they've they've taken away that top, what was it, 125 at one point in time, and then cut down to 75.
It used to be
Um
125, 100, 125, 70, 50, 30. Now it's just 70, 50, 30.
yeah, because they cut an
But
event out of there.
yeah, the Boston, TBC Boston,
Right, right. Which I think that's a
which
mistake,
is
but that's just me.
which is a mistake. Labor Day weekend, that was a great tournament. Finishing on a Monday,
And
starting
everybody
on a
didn't play.
Friday.
It was the first one. And again, some people would miss it, and that was fine. But that was a really fun layout. It presented a lot of drama. We always had some
Yeah,
really good finishes there. So
yeah. Ricky
um
Fowler 71, Chris Kirk 72, Gary Woodland 73. Mm.
I I always
Wyndham Clark,
always
Wyndham
I
Clark
always
78.
I always like to see who's gonna be teeing it up that last week of the season out in North Carolina. That one's
Yeah,
always
that
a
Wyndham
dramatic.
Championship.
That's right.
Yeah.
Um,
Adam
last.
Scott 83.
Oh, that's
Man,
crazy. Because Adam Scott's had a pretty good season. He's had some decent
yeah.
finishes.
Mm.
Last story, official story, and before we get into kind of freestyling, Grant Horvat. A couple weeks ago, we learned he was offered a sponsor's invite into this week's Barracuda Championship, and he mulled it over. I think Scottie, was on a show on his YouTube channel that particular week, and he asked him should he play, and then Scottie's recommendation was absolutely. Um, and I'm seeing like a 50-50 split in terms of Grant Horvat's reason, he decided to decline it, and the reason he put behind it, which to me, bad PR move. He could have figured out a more creative way to do it. But cited the PGA Tour's refusal to allow his camera crew to film right alongside him during real play, which, yeah, I mean, they have TV
Funny,
contracts already, right? I mean, and then, there's the crowd, again, it's 50-50. Read through comments and multiple posts about this today, that some people are like, hey, YouTube is how he makes his money. He probably legitimately does not have a chance to make the cut. So this essentially would just be him playing 2 days, and the PGA Tour gets the benefit, and he's gonna miss out because his channel is how he makes money. Um, Again, if I was in a position where I gotta, I don't think he's hurting for dollars at this point. He does well. He
yeah.
does well. He's not missing any meals. So if I got a chance to play on the PGA Tour, which we know he's never going to play there full time professionally, he's a good amateur player. He is not a professional golfer. Why wouldn't you do that? It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Feels kind of like an
Right.
ass move. I don't like him in general. Like, I'm not a fan. I'm not a kid. It's very much age related. I'm 43 years old. So his type of content doesn't appeal to me. Like, I get the segment of fans that really enjoy his content coming off of like the good momentum, that type of creator. I absolutely get it. The Brian Bros, all of them. But they are very much like YouTube is the center of the world, and I'm like, there's more to it than that. I don't agree with the move. I'm pretty sure I know where you stand, but you let me know and add nuance if you'd like.
Yeah. Very unfortunate for Grant missing an opportunity. I don't know why, and I absolutely don't know why he went about it this way. Honestly, I kind of understand why he went about it this way. He probably is going to make more money and exposure just from dropping this video.
Yeah.
Probably the big caps. Why I didn't accept the invite to the PGA Tour.
That's, and
Clickbait.
you know
You know
what?
what I'm
In
saying?
my head, I was annoyed because we've talked about this offline, right? We do this because we
Yeah.
we generally just enjoy talking to each other, talking about golf. That that even if we blew up someday, that the over just like everything becoming content is annoying, right? It's like,
Right.
damn, does everything have to be content?
Does it
Um,
have to be recorded? No, it does not.
right. I don't I couldn't imagine, and I get it, different strokes for different folks. But imagine just having a camera in your face all the time to
The
capture a
mic,
candid moment.
the mic, it's not even a hot mic, it's a mic and it's on you, attached to you. So even when you better be thinking a lot internally, because I know me and I know you and I know us, we're gonna speak out. Like we're not gonna just sit here and be like
Right.
internal monologue. That's gonna be going too, but it's gonna be a lot of mumbling under the breath and stuff like that. And I'm not for, yeah, I feel like that's so much work to edit all that out and get to the next action shot and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
you know, it's just like what you said. There is different strokes for different folks. There is plenty of people that enjoy these golf vlogs and these beat the pros and these long form YouTubes and stuff like that. And I still have my OG people that I enjoy watching, but it
Right.
is OG. It is a different format essentially. Like Mark
I
Crossfield. Mark
wa-
Crossfield
I watched the Mark Crossfield video the other day, and it was an hour and a half, and I watched every minute of it.
every minute. And he's got some new stuff with Matt Lockie coming back. I'm enjoying it just the same. And you can see it in the comments. Yo, ain't nobody doing it like you, Mark. Like you still have a mark on the game. Seriously. Peter Finch. I still enjoy Peter Finch content. His voice is not necessarily soothing, but it's not Rick Shields. And
Right.
Peter Finch has created his own lane, what he does best, and he's that mid-level tour, but he has some clout as far as content creation goes. So I think Grant Horvat definitely missed out on an opportunity. Um, I think what I don't understand is that how he doesn't understand is that the PGA Tour is a business, and they don't need any cuts from what they got coming in. And
Right.
there's now that's something that you need to contractually work on. Is hey, can I get somebody? Can I get a spotlighted crew through the PGA Tour on me so that I can cut from that and make a video and recap from that? That's what you
Yeah.
should be sitting here trying to negotiate and work out with your agent for the 1 or 2 weeks that you're out on the tour on these special exemptions and sponsors exemptions and stuff like that. Because for you to think that you're just going to be able to,
Film right
create
alongside their
content,
cruise.
right? Like, do you not see copyright infringement? Do you not see what's going on here?
Okay.
Especially
Like
since the
let's
PGA Tour is on the YouTube as well. What are we talking about?
let's just go ahead and remind, like it was, the one that I posted I sent you had the Brian Bros commenting and then Phil Mickelson chiming in. And let's just keep it a stack. And the fact that we found out earlier this year that Bryson DeChambeau doesn't even own the rights to his channel. And we know he
Right.
does
Phil
the
not
biggest
getting no bread
numbers.
off of YouTube. Yeah.
So live golf, while you got Phil Mickelson in there talking crap. Guess what, Phil? You went to bat for all this stuff and you ended up with the same scenario. Like, cool, you
Right.
can make content, you can produce content, but Live is collecting the check. We saw that was written into Bryson DeChambeau's agreement with Live. So I
Yep.
mean,
Yep.
you're working for free. You're putting out the content for free. So at the end of the day, you're just kind of spitting into the wind, Phil, talking crap
But I
like you think you know it, everything.
right. And that's the thing, when the more of the stuff comes out, you got to think, hey, how much of this money are they really making per week that isn't already being taken off of the top? I think that's why they got such lump
I don't think that's
sums.
ever been clear. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think they got such lump sums, and now they're sitting here. The live tour is sitting here recouping that, so that they don't come out as such a loss. So
Right.
you better
Right.
check
And
the
so
fine
like
print
if
on a lot of
Rom,
this stuff.
like does that make sense? Like does Rom never win on Live because it would just, the boatload of money that he got up front, does it just, oh well, that's part of the agreement. So that four
Right.
mil for your winner's check, it's already been paid
Yeah.
out. Awesome,
Yeah. We'll
thank
take
you.
that off the tally. That you owe us for this contract, and we'll
We
keep it pushing.
that's never been clear, especially for the ones that were front loaded. So, um,
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, both of these entities, whether it's PGA Tour or Live, are businesses and just handing out money. I mean, we've seen the Saudi PIF roll back their investments in sports, especially if it's not making money. Because as
Right.
I've said since the beginning, it is an investment group, and so if your investment doesn't have a return on it, I mean, what is the point of going at it long term? And you know, we don't have any really optimism of the leagues ever merging back together. Like there's been no discussions. We know that we're gonna have a change in CEO on the PGA Tour side. Does that bring more fruitful discussions going forward? None of us have any clue. The guy last time we saw him speak said, "Hey, I'm still learning the lay of the land. We'll get to that at some point." So, I
Right.
mean,
Is this guy as buddy as Jay Monahan is with the lead guy in America right now? Does he have that same rapport? Is Adam Scott and Tiger Woods, are they still fighting on the low for this type of deal? We ain't heard. Ain't no PGA Tour officials made White House visit. We ain't seeing that right now. So
There's
are
been the
the
the news has been super quiet as it
that's what
relates
I'm
to
saying,
golf.
bro.
Yeah.
So are they still making efforts? Do they see the writings in the wall? Are we and just like what you said, I'm reiterating it. Are we waiting for these contract negotiations from these original guys to run out before we even, continue going from there? These new
Hmm.
contracts, I don't know what to say. I don't know how,
Probably
foolproof
one
and
2 year deals. I mean, because
exactly. I don't know how stoned they are.
Bryson pretty much spoke out of both sides of his mouth when they were asking about his renewal. Gave an answer that could be openly interpreted. So we have no idea. And at the end of the day, um, cool, you got your payday, you're able to do some things with it, but I mean, if you're a competitor, you want to go out there and compete against the best week in and week out. And the
Right.
truth is, for them to get the points that they were seeking out, a lot of them have had to play pretty much the same amount of weeks that they would have on the PGA Tour anyway. I mean,
Right. Exactly.
so
You trying to play limited schedule, you're gonna play 14 plus the majors. You still gonna play about 18 events. Then you
yeah,
want world ranking points. So you got to go over to the DP World Tour now or the Asian Tour. So
yeah.
if you really trying to get it, you still going to play 22, 23 events. Come on over back to the crib and do it over here. Quit
and
playing.
you can see the lack of starts, how it's affected John Rahm being what 17th, 18th on the Ryder Cup standings because he hasn't played
Exactly.
much golf. I mean, you get what you get when you don't play the game as much, right? You're losing out on opportunities, and so now you're going to be
Literally.
at the mercy of a pick because you're so far outside of the scope. And while people were going to understand, like, oh yeah, it makes sense to pick up John Rahm, especially if he plays well in the Open Championship, but
Right.
it's still sad that you're at 17 and 18th, whatever it was. So
Yep.
yeah.
It's literally
Anyway,
that.
that's it in terms of our scripted stuff today. What other randomness? I mean, baseball's slow right now. I mean, I hadn't been watching much baseball this year. The Rangers are horrible.
Yeah. They did what they were
We
supposed
talked.
to do versus the Astros. They beat them going into the All Star break. They won the series. So sure, it looked good on paper, but we're still below 500 in the standings. But we're like third. I mean, I will say Bochy said it best. If they just do what they're supposed to do, they don't even have to have like spectacular seasons.
Yeah,
If they do what they're supposed to do and everybody contributes, I think we're all right. Especially the way that the pitching is going this year. The pitching was the problem last year. And our starters have been going into games deep. The bullpen has been saving us for the most part. We haven't been blowing leads. So we'll see how it goes in the second half of the season. The summer league for basketball was great.
it's
Me and
been
Rod
good.
are always gonna refer in some capacity to basketball. Um, and yeah, Cooper Flag looks like the real deal. The Mavs, we discussed this on our own time, but Cooper Flag wasn't quite, ready that first game. That second game, he was acclimated. And the Mavs said, we've seen enough. We've seen what we needed to see. We good
Shut
on
them
that.
down. I'm
Shut it
kind of
down.
scared. I'm scared of San Antonio in our division this year. They look like
Yeah,
they've been drafting well, and like I hate that Greg Popovich isn't leaving on his own terms with the stroke situation. I hate that aspect of it, as he's
yeah.
been
It would have been
one of
nice
the
to see him
NBA.
coach this.
Yeah, like he's been one of the NBA good guys for a long time, and a
Yeah,
heck of a coach. But
stood on
the
business.
young players that they have brought in over the last handful of years, I mean, even though they haven't done much winning, you can tell like they're building a kind of a profile. Watching them in person a couple times, I've seen they like long arms. they're all over
Yeah,
the place. And so
yeah,
with this rookie that they have coming in, it's going to be kind of scary. They're going to be active on the defensive end. Then you got Wimby protecting at the rim. So it's going to be interesting. The West
yeah,
continues to get stronger.
yeah. It's gonna be a good. Hey, they got a good problem. It's figuring out the offense. Defense is gonna be solidified. How are
Yeah.
we gonna score? I don't know. If they keep taking people back down to their level, though, I think it's gonna be all right.
And
If
if
they
you're
play
forcing
around the
turnovers,
hundreds,
yeah.
they play around the hundreds, 110s. It's gonna be scary for them boys. Now, if
No
they got
doubt.
to get into the 120s and 130s, I don't know if they're gonna be able to do that every game. But defensively, though, I mean, they got a rotation, they got a plethora. But
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here calling Harrison Barnes' number. Hey, I need you to give me 25.
I feel like Harrison Barnes is like 45 years old. That dude's been in the league. It feels like
Bruh,
forever at this point.
forever. He came in the league and was important immediately for the Warriors somehow. Like
Yeah.
2016, he's been important. I think that's the
Harrison
reason,
Barnes
or maybe
age.
it was 2014 or 2015.
He's he's a 33-year-old, but like you said, he came in immediately playing. So he's been logging minutes for 14 years in the NBA.
Yeah, yeah, and
Kudos
he's
to
done
him
it
for
for
no for yeah, kudos to him for no major injuries and keeping himself in shape. So,
yeah, no facts for sure. Um, yeah, I'm excited, and I mean, shoot, it's July. They start training camp for that in September. Preseason is October. End of the season, the NBA Cup is already on October 31st. So we ain't
yeah,
got much longer before the big boys is back.
basketball will be back. Football training camps, I think, starting this week already. So,
Yeah, bro. End of August, the NFL is back, bro. Like it's all
we're
about to be moving real quick.
2025 is on speed
Boom.
skates, no doubt.
Let's see. Let's see. Preseason, August 7th, August 14th, August 21st. Week 1, September 4th. God bless, boy. We are in it, man. We
We
a
are.
month and a half away. Or
It's
a month
crazy.
and 3 weeks, technically.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Definitely back next, depending on Marcus's work schedule, maybe Monday. To
Hopefully
discuss
Monday.
the Open. Worst case scenario Tuesday. Uh, Same thing the following week, and then after that, 3 weeks out, TBD. We'll see. Your boy's gonna be on
We'll
the
see.
road, so we'll catch y'all next week. Gator Bros Golf Show. I'm Rod.
And I'm Marcus.
Peace out, y'all.